In the films Batman and Rain Man, Peter Guber harnessed the power of storytelling to create Hollywood blockbusters. In his new book, Tell to Win, the former Sony Pictures CEO explains how a well-told story can lead to business success.
Know your audience. What's in it for them? Don't start telling your story unless you know what they are interested in. Don't try to be interesting, be interested. If you can tell your story through that lens, you can capture their heart, their imagination, their inspiration, their perspiration, and then their wallet.
How to use technology to improve your story?
Technology can improve your story because it can provide you an access to research and information. Preparation is the master for success. Who is that audience that I'm talking to? Where do they live? What have they done before? What's their backstory? What information can be powered through your story? So that's what technology can do. Technology can also reach a distant audience, and it reaches an audience of millions, but not millions, millions of times over. That's what digital technology can do online, different than broadcast technology.
In the book, you talk a lot about motivating your audience. What's the best way for doing that?
First of all, you don't control your audience. You have to surrender control. It's an illusion. You got to motivate yourself. You got to have your intention, your feet, tongue, heart, and wallet congruent, going in the same direction. That gives you authenticity, and that shines through before you say the first word of your story or even say hello. That's what comes, that integrity. Once they see that, you build trust and you go from there.
And you also talk about capturing their attention, captivating them. But it's hard. What do you suggest to get their attention from the get-go? Is it the old open with a joke?
You want to get their attention 3 different ways. One, you want to know what they're interested in instead of trying to be interesting, because that will get their attention, because that's where they're coming from. That's the first thing. The second thing, you got to cut through the cacophony of noise. So you have to either physically touch them or emotionally touch them or know something in their room which gives you a foreplay of conversation. And the third thing you have to do is you have to make contact. You have to look at the person. You have to be breathing the same air. You have to be in the room. You have to be present. You've got to show up. You've got to get in state. When you're in state, they know they're important. They see that you're prepared. They feel that presence. Those are some of the codes to getting their attention.
And as for the facts and figures that need to be included into any business presentation, Guber maintains they are vital and will seal the deal when folded into the overarching narrative.
What you have to do is you have to load that information like a Trojan horse into the story. And the way you make those facts and figures memorable, resonant, and actionable is to emotionally transport your listener, your audience, if you will, with a story by showing that story has those elements in it and proves those elements to be powerful. And then what happens is the magic happens. The person that hears that, feels that, gets that, tells the story forward, and then is able to recall the information, numbers, and statistics, but it's in a context, an emotional context. So what happens is it goes viral. And that's the magic. You turn them into apostles and advocates for the proposition.